Okay, so hi guys. This is the video that I kept talking about. Hopefully it works out well. I notice I keep looking over here because I'm kind of looking at myself, and when I'm looking at myself, I'm kind of looking this way. So please excuse that. I have a hard time drawing my eyes away from my face because I want to feel like I'm talking to somebody and not to the wall over here. So, whatever. But the video today is basically about the common mistakes that rabbit owners and guinea pig owners make. And the biggest number one thing, you guys, is cages. The number one mistake that rabbit owners and guinea pig owners make is cages. Let me put up a few examples for you. Okay, so as you can see, these are cages that you will find a lot in pet stores. Unfortunately, for the most part, any cage that is marketed towards a rabbit or any cage that's marketed towards a guinea pig is going to be technically too small for that animal. And honestly, even though I don't have hamsters, I've done enough research that I mean, I've almost gotten a hamster a few times. But that's also a number one thing for hamster owners is the cage size. When you go into a pet store and you see those critter trails, they're like yay big, way too small. The misconception is that because they're small animals, they don't need a lot of space, and that is untrue. Yeah, most, if not all, cages marketed towards a certain animal are too small. At least when it comes to rabbits, guinea pigs, and hamsters. It will be the same with reptiles as well. You just have to make sure that when they're saying this size enclosure is good for a bearded dragon, chances are it isn't, and you have to go for a bigger size for a marketed bigger animal. Like, they're going to have a bigger enclosure for a bigger animal, and that's going to be the size for the smaller animal that you have. Typically is what's going on. So for rabbits, those rabbit cages that I put up, oh my gosh, far, far, far too small. If they cannot hop 3 or 4 times across it, or, you know, if they can't go this way or this way, multiple hops, it's too small. When they're happy, rabbits love to do what we call binkies, and guinea pigs do the same thing, and for them that's called popcorning. They can't do this very well in a small space. So I realize a lot of people want these animals, but they don't have a large space to put them. In all honesty, if you don't have the space for the proper size enclosure, you really shouldn't get them. I know that a lot of people will get them before they realize they need a bigger space. But the guinea pigs and the rabbits that I got years ago, when I got my guinea pigs and rabbits, I was wrong. And I had a hamster too. It was passed to me from, at the time, my brother-in-law, and he was in a critter trail. And I didn't know any better. Obviously, he didn't know any better. But he was in a little critter trail. And now, when I look back, I thought, oh, I'm horrible. So, yeah, excuse me, you guys. But my rabbit, at least back then, was free roam. He had a rabbit cage. He had a rabbit cage that was too small. But he was only in it at night and when I was at work. And the rest of the time, he was free roam in the living room. So it wasn't as big of a deal for him to have that small cage. My guinea pig was it. For one, I only had one guinea pig, and that's another mistake. Guinea pigs and rabbits, and you know what? I'm jumping ahead of myself. Let's just say, yeah, I had one guinea pig at that time, and he was not in a big enough space. But the second mistake is guinea pigs and rabbits are social animals. They do better in at least a pair. So you should always at least get two. If you can't get two of that animal, don't get the animal. I made that mistake with my rabbit, but I got a couple of rabbits later just because I wanted them. Not because I was thinking he needs a friend. It was because I just wanted more. But it worked out because they got to be together. But at the same time, I also didn't bond them properly, so there were some scuffles. But yeah, I didn't have a friend for my guinea pig back then, and I didn't have a friend for my rabbit, and when I did get friends for my rabbit, they were not bonded properly. So those were my mistakes, and there are mistakes that happen here too. They'll be like, well, I can't get a friend for my rabbit, or I can't get a friend for my guinea pig. They fight. Chances are they did not go through a proper bonding process. I mean, and there are going to be times that even when you do a bonding process, that it won't work out. But how many people know that they have to do this? I didn't know. The other mistake that I made, besides the cage sizes and not getting a buddy, I didn't provide hay 24/7. I don't even know if I bought hay for my rabbits or guinea pigs, period. I don't think I did. I provided pellets and left it at that. Big no-no. Big no-no. They need to have hay, both species, rabbits and guinea pigs, hay 24/7 available to them. If they do not, it messes with their digestive system, and it can be potentially fatal. It'll start shutting down their system. And I believe that there were a few times that was what was happening with my rabbit. For one, he would get hairballs because there wasn't enough fiber in his diet, which hay will provide. And when he had hairballs, he wouldn't eat. And if they don't eat in a 12-hour period, they go into GI stasis, which can be fatal. GI stasis being that their digestive system is shutting down. He wouldn't drink water. He wouldn't eat. I had to take him to the vet. And basically, I had to force feed him water. I force fed him water with pineapple juice in it so that the acids in the pineapple juice would break up the hairballs, and then he'd be okay. But nobody ever told me back then, are you feeding him hay? Are you feeding him a good quality hay? Are you feeding him hay, period? I wasn't. So now, unfortunately, hay gets everywhere. Everybody has hay 24/7, but hay gets tracked everywhere. Hay is a way of life in this house, and that's just the way it is. So if you are not prepared for a mess, don't get them. So I do have two rabbits. They were bonded. They're both, they're male and female, spayed and neutered. And that's one thing that will stop people at a pet store when they go to a pet store. They don't want to buy two of that animal because it adds up. It's pricey. But I got out of that by adopting at the animal shelter. It is cheaper. Plus, the rabbits were already spayed and neutered. The shelter will make sure that they're spayed and neutered. At least ours made sure that they were spayed and neutered before they were adopted. The guinea pigs are not spayed and neutered, but you just don't put a male and a female together. You don't do that with rabbits if they're not spayed and neutered either, but since you literally do have to go to the vet to spay and neuter, and it's riskier to spay a female guinea pig. Make sure those males are neutered if you want males and females together. I have 5 guinea pigs. I have 3 males and 2 females. None of them are spayed or neutered. The males are together. The females are together. They're not mixed. The male and female rabbit are together, but they are both spayed and neutered. It is not risky surgery for either one, so long as they go to a rabbit savvy vet. Sorry guys, I got kicked out. But you always have to make sure that you take your animal that's not a dog or a cat is going to be considered an exotic animal. You need to find an exotic vet. Otherwise, you are risking their health. Even if a regular vet says that they can do it, don't. A lot of rabbits and even guinea pigs will die on the table during a surgery because those people don't know what they're doing. They just think they know what they're doing. Rabbits and guinea pigs have a lot different systems than dogs and cats, and that goes for reptiles and, you know, that kind of thing as well. I did not write down any points, so I am very sorry. I'm gonna have to like pause this when I go blank. But so we've covered cage size, we've covered buddies, we've covered hay for those two animals. And when I say, okay, for cage size, we'll jump back to cage size because I talked about what cages won't work. Cages that do. My rabbits are in an exercise pen. Exercise pens a lot of the time are marketed towards dogs. You know, your dog can be put in this pen and run around. And typically, I think that's ridiculous because it's not very big for a dog unless you're talking a little dinky dog. The pen that I have is a 4 foot by 4 foot, and it's 4 foot tall. There are shorter ones, but you don't want to risk your rabbit jumping out. So mine is 4 foot by 4 foot, and then also 4 foot tall. I have a couple of animal kennels attached to it as well, so it gives it a little extra space beyond the 4 foot. And they can both hop multiple times in there. They do their binkies and they tear around in there all the time. They also get some floor time. I'll take them out and I'll bring them upstairs into the upstairs hallway and I'll block off the stairs and they run around in there for just a little bit different scenery. I'll do the same with the guinea pigs. I have a little play pen that I just leave down here. I lock up the bigger dog and they get to run around in the playpen. The appropriate size guinea pig cage would be 8 square feet per guinea pig pair. When it comes to males, they're going to need a little bit bigger because they are territorial. Females will do well in an 8 square foot space. You can make it yourself with CNC grids, or they do have on Amazon a Midwest guinea pig habitat, which is exactly 8 square feet, which is what I bought when I had Augie by himself, which is what I was going to put another male in, but then I ended up with a female. So he was by himself, she was by herself, but they were sharing a wall. Now I've got 2 females and 3 males. The 2 females right now, their space is a little bit smaller than it should be, but things just happened really fast. I did not plan for so many guinea pigs at one time, but tragedy happened to a friend of mine and she had 2 male guinea pigs and I couldn't say no. So I brought them home. The males are in a, I can't tell you how big it is, but I'm using the 8 square foot Midwest guinea pig habitat, also with another stretch of pen that I've attached together, so it's huge. And they are in a room upstairs that does not have a top on it, so they have to be locked away so that the dog doesn't get in. The females are in a section of bookshelf with a little piece of a grid cage so that I can hook their water bottle on it, which I'm going to be upgrading them. My goal is to build a custom guinea pig cage. So even if it's 2 levels, you know, because it's going to take up a lot of floor space. They need floor space. but I'm thinking about 2 levels, a level for the males, a level for the females, and it's going to have to be built out of wood and plexiglass and or acrylic sheets or whatever. But that's going to be a project for the future. Hopefully the nearer future, but you know, one step at a time. Right now, the females being in a smaller space, it's not ideal, but they are female, so they're not territorial so much. They have their own hide, and they do all get floor time. So there's that. Food, you guys. A lot of people will want to buy affordable food. And unfortunately, a lot of the time, the affordable food is going to be junk. Which isn't that the way with even food for us? The healthy food is more expensive. But I'm going to pop up some pictures here for you on foods that are inappropriate and then explain to you why. Okay, so these foods you see, they'll say like carnival mixes or fiesta mixes, and they've got colorful bits in there. These colorful bits are not healthy. It actually will get your guinea pig or your rabbit to do selective eating. They are going to eat out the good bits and leave the healthy stuff. So I just went blank for one little second. But yeah, so you don't want to get, and you got to look at the ingredients on the back. And most of the times in those foods where they're carnival mixes or fiesta mixes, their ingredients are awful. You don't want to have artificial dyes in them, for one. And you don't want it, you want your first ingredient to be Timothy hay. For both. Timothy hay is so important for both rabbits and guinea pigs. It needs to be the #1 ingredient in the pellet food. And keep in mind, pellet food is only supposed to be 10% of their diet. So the guinea pigs only get a quarter of a cup. Yeah, a quarter of a cup of pellets every day. So 2 guinea pigs in there, I put 2 quarters. 3 guinea pigs up there, you get my point. That's all they get for guinea pig food. The other 10% is going to be veggies, an occasional fruit for a treat, and not a whole, just like pieces. And 80% is their hay. So the rabbits, they don't even get pellets. They get their veggies and they get hay. I don't even give them pellets. They absolutely need to have vitamin C. This is another mistake that I made. I didn't provide that. I mean, you can provide it in veggies, but since veggies are only 10% of their diet, I don't feel like you're going to be giving them enough. So you can get vitamin C drops or vitamin C tablets. The rabbits get vitamin C tablets. They get 1 every day, and they treat them like treats. They get super excited when they hear the bag, and I'm opening up this little, it looks like a little wafer, and they get their vitamin C tablet. The guinea pigs get drops in their water. That can be an iffy thing because sometimes guinea pigs can be picky about it, and the drops can change or will change the taste of the water, and they may not like it, and they may not drink enough water. So in that case, you're going to have to get them their vitamin C a different way. My guinea pigs don't seem to mind the drops in the water, so that's what I do. It's cheaper. But yeah, so those are some of the mistakes. I'm trying to think of other ones, but those are the major ones. The cage sizes, the choice in food, not providing hay 24/7. It's a big thing. They are not going, and some people will be like, my rabbits are happy. My rabbits lived for so long. Okay, great, but they didn't thrive. They survived. A child can survive sitting on his bed his whole life, but that's no kind of a life. That's not thriving. As long as you are feeding your child and letting them go to the bathroom and clothing them, and they're sitting on the bed, they're alive. They can live for years. But what kind of a life is that for them? So you want to provide your animal with the best care possible and not make excuses for why you're not. And that sounds harsh, but it's the truth. Animals depend on us to give them the best life possible, and it's up to us to do that. And in this day and age, information is so readily available on the internet. Sometimes you'll see conflicting things, but that's where you can watch YouTube videos. Don't rely on just one source. So don't just listen to what I'm saying and do nothing else. Watch multiple videos. Do your own research. Don't rely on what the pet store tells you. You will get taken. Because they will promote those cages to you. They will promote certain toys to you that aren't appropriate. Foods that aren't appropriate. The care guides there, you guys. If you pick up a care guide and read through it, some of it is good. Some of what is in the care guides are good. Others are not accurate. So you can't rely solely on one source. You need to find multiple sources and find information from each of those sources that jives. And there's no experience better than hands-on experience. But you don't want to start with nothing because you don't want your animals to suffer. My animals in the past, unfortunately, did suffer because I did not provide everything possible for them that I should have, because I didn't know any better, because I didn't do the research. But this time around, I did a lot more research, and I knew right from the get-go, they need this kind of enclosure, they need this kind of food, they need hay. And you can do research ahead of time too to make sure that you can find those things the most affordable way you can. Because let's face it, having hay 24/7, it adds up. It really does. The enclosures, once you have them, you're done with that. But if the veggies, the pellets, if you're getting them, especially the hay goes fast. When they have to have it available to them 24/7, hay goes fast. You have to find the best affordable way for you to get it. Otherwise, they will suffer. I mentioned toys. The best toys I've found for my guinea pigs and rabbits are toilet paper rolls or paper towel rolls. They love to chew on those and toss them around. Make sure that they're not scented or anything like that. That they're just plain Jane rolls. I've gotten some toys from the pet store, but you want to make sure they don't have artificial flavors in them, artificial dyes. The more natural, the better for them. I did buy a couple of baby rattles for really cheap at Walmart. They're going to be safe for babies, therefore they're going to be safe for bunnies. So I bought 2 rattles for the bunnies, and they love to pick them up and toss them around, and they rattle. Hence, they're baby rattles. Duh. But yeah, anything that they can chew on that's natural or toss around. Guinea pig balls or hamster balls are a no-no. That's one thing that a pet store might promote to you. Don't do it, especially for guinea pigs, because their backs will curve, and that's an unnatural position for them, and it can damage their back. Not to mention, they're trapped in a ball, and they don't feel safe because they can't hide. So if you have a hamster and you're thinking about getting a hamster ball, I would advise against it, because they're going to feel the same way. They're going to feel exposed. They're going to feel trapped. They can't get away. They can't hide. So avoid that for hamsters as well. But no guinea pig balls. Don't put them in a ball to watch them roll around the room safely from other animals. They don't feel safe. Plus, they're going to hurt their backs. No wheels, because guinea pigs don't need them. They run around their large enclosures. That's how they get their exercise. They don't need a wheel. And again, their back would curve. You deal with back injuries, and it's not fun. Briefly jumping over to hamsters, yes, get them a wheel. It is essential, but it needs to be the appropriate size so their backs don't curve. Many times, especially in those tiny little cages, if you get those, the wheels are too small. If they cannot stand flat on a wheel, if their backs are curved, it's too small. But anyway, I'm trying to think of some other things, so give me a second, and I'm going to run through my brain to see if I can think of any other common mistakes. Okay, one other thing, it's not necessarily as common, but it is something that even my ex-husband had mentioned, and I was like, no, that won't work, because he found out, well, he didn't find out, I mentioned it, that, I mean, he knew I had rabbits, but then learned about the guinea pigs, and wondered, well, instead of, when I had the one guinea pig, instead of getting a buddy for the guinea pig, can't he go in with the rabbits? No, 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 no. Guinea pigs and rabbits, no. I've seen some cute pictures of a rabbit and a guinea pig snuggling. Perfect. You know, I see that with rabbits and dogs, and guinea pigs and dogs, and, you know, reptiles and dogs, and whatever, birds and dogs. But that's not a permanent living situation. That's just a little snuggly, and then they go, you know, back to where they belong. Guinea pigs and rabbits communicate differently. Rabbits do not typically make audible noises. They communicate solely in their body language, whereas guinea pigs make multiple noises and to communicate. And putting them together, the guinea pig can be squeaking up a storm, rumble strutting, teeth chattering, whatever, to let the rabbit know they're not happy about something, and the rabbit's going to have no idea what they're saying. Whereas on the other end, the rabbit is going to do their body language thing to talk to the guinea pig. I want to tell this guinea pig what's up. Guinea pig has no idea, because guinea pig doesn't speak body language. Guinea pig squeaks. So that's just going to be a recipe for disaster, because they're going to misunderstand each other, and it's going to cause a fight. So do not house your guinea pigs and rabbits together. It's also a good thing to learn what a guinea pig means when he squeaks, certain squeaks, because there are different sounds when they squeak, as well as body language for rabbits, because you want to know what they're telling you, because guinea pigs squeak at me, rabbits have used their body language with me. So if I don't understand what they're telling me, we're going to have a problem. But I can typically tell knowing different body languages and what they look like and what they mean, I can typically tell what my rabbits are wanting. Same with finding out what different guinea pig sounds sound like, what they mean, and knowing what they're telling me. So I know when my guinea pigs are unhappy. I know when they're happy. I know when the rabbits are unhappy or happy. So it's important to learn those things. I was going to check to see, excuse me, how far I am into the video, but this is a new clip, so I don't know. But so we've covered cage size, we've covered food. The appropriate food is going to be #1 ingredient, Timothy hay, no artificial colorings. One of the better brands I would recommend is Oxbow. Oxbow will have guinea pig food and rabbit food, and it is really good food. That's what I get when I do get guinea pig or rabbit food. And it doesn't have any colorful bits in it. It's just plain brown pellets. They can't be picky eaters in it. It's just better all the way around. Trying to think. I don't think I have anything else. Those are typically, in my experience, the biggest mistakes. They're mistakes I've made, and they're mistakes that I see other people still making. So, excuse me. If you can think of any other mistakes that you're familiar with, let me know down in the comments. That would be wonderful. Oh, one other thing, you guys. It just popped into my head. Bedding. I don't use a paper or wood bedding for either of them. I have actually a bed sheet down on the floor for the rabbit enclosure. They don't pee on it. They pee in their litter box. They are litter box trained. They poop on it. They do. But poop is easy to sweep up and throw right into the box. But they don't pee on it, so I don't worry about my carpet. I do have fleece in the guinea pig cages with puppy pads underneath them, so that, because they do pee on the fleece. But it'll go through and soak into the pee pad, and then you just routinely wash the fleece. Rather than washing the sheet, I will, since they don't pee, the rabbits don't pee on it, I sweep up hair, I sweep up hay and poop, and when I'm ready to change it, I just throw it out. I don't bother washing it because it does have a lot of hair on it. I just throw it out and put a new sheet down. I typically get one for like $9. Just a, full-size flat sheet. So that's what I do for them. The guinea pigs, I reuse the fleece. They do shed, but it's less hair than what the rabbits give off. So, yeah, that's what I do. If you do want to use a bedding, please, please, please avoid pine or cedar. It is very bad for their respiratory system. Don't use it. You will see pine and cedar shavings at pet stores all the time. All the time. Don't use it. Just because it's in a pet store does not mean it is appropriate. If you want to use wood shavings, use aspen. Aspen is safe. Or use a paper bedding. They have plenty of paper beddings. They have Carefresh. They have, I've lost the name of it on the top of my head right now, but I'm not up on all the names of them because I don't use them. If I get a hamster in the future, which is what I'm hoping for, I will be using the paper bedding. Probably Carefresh or whatever the other one is. So, yeah, those are things I've seen where people make a lot of mistakes with the bedding, with the food, with the cage size, not having a friend for their social animal. And on the other end of the spectrum, hamsters are solitary for the most part. There are people who can keep multiple robos or that kind of thing. The really small hamsters can be kept together without issue, but they are typically solitary, so it is not necessary. They can live very happy on their own with plenty to do. Syrian hamsters are definitely solitary. Even if you get siblings, even if you get litter mates, when they get old enough, they will fight, and they can fight to the death. They have to be solitary. So that's the difference between hamsters and guinea pigs and rabbits. Guinea pigs and rabbits are social. They need a friend. Hamsters are solitary and can live very happy lives on their own. Just spend a lot of time with them. So yeah, if anybody has any questions, you can leave them down in the comments and I will do my best to answer. If you have anything to add, please let me know. And I'm sorry if this video still seems scattered. I just never feel like I can find the time to do what I want to do the proper way. You know, I've got a house full of animals. I don't have time to sit down and dive into a lot of stuff. But I found the pictures for the food and I found the pictures for the cages to show you what typically is inappropriate, and I felt like that was important. And then the rest of my video is raw, just like me. So I hope you don't mind. But yeah, so I think that is about it. It is Monday today. Ian's coming back to see me for the weekend on Wednesday. He'll be here Wednesday for our midweek. And then I just get to keep him all the way through to Monday. So super sweet. We will do a live stream when he's here. Like we did the last time. And yeah, it should be fun. So hope everybody has a great day, and I will talk with you all later.